There are 3 Toyota SUVs sitting on used car lots right now that salespeople struggle to move. And the funny part is, the people who know cars best are quietly buying them for their own families. These are not cheap because they're risky. These are cheap because most shoppers only know 2 Toyota names, RAV4 and 4Runner. Everything else gets ignored, even when it's built with the same Toyota DNA that goes 250,000 to 300,000 miles with basic care. After years of turning wrenches on Toyotas, the pattern is always the same. People overpay for the badge they recognize, while the unsexy Toyota SUVs sit there priced thousands lower than they should be. Today, this is a countdown of 3 cheap Toyota SUVs everyone ignores, but they're absolute gold mines if the goal is low repair drama, long life, and real value. And yes, number 1 is the one that changes how people shop, because it delivers the most Toyota for the money. Number 3. Toyota Venza, 2009 to 2015. Number 3 is the Toyota Venza. And this one is the perfect example of a vehicle getting punished in the market for one stupid reason. People don't know what it is. Some shoppers see it and go, is it a wagon? Is it an SUV? And then they skip it. That confusion is your discount. Here's what makes the Venza a gold mine. It's built with Toyota's simple, proven setup. It's not trying to be flashy, it's trying to last. And in the used market, that matters more than anything. On real ownership numbers, RepairPal lists the Venza with an average annual repair and maintenance cost of about $444, which is lower than the typical averages RepairPal lists for midsize SUVs and all vehicles overall. That doesn't mean nothing ever breaks. It means the Venza usually avoids the expensive, repeated disasters that make people hate used SUVs. Now look at pricing. On CarGurus, used 2013 Toyota Venza listings range widely based on miles and condition, but the page shows an average price around $10,000, and listings can run from very cheap high-mileage examples up to much higher clean ones. That's the point. The Venza often lives in the price zone where people start looking at questionable crossovers, even though this one is a Toyota. Fuel economy is also predictable and easy to live with. On the official government site, fueleconomy.gov, a 2013 Venza 2.7 liter is listed at 23 combined miles per gallon, 20 city/26 highway for the FWD model, and 22 combined miles per gallon for the AWD version. It's not a hybrid, but it's also not a gas guzzler. What to check before buying? If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. When inspecting a used Venza, 3 checks catch most of the real-world problems. First, check for clean oil history and listen for a cold start rattle. A short rattle can happen on many engines, but a loud, long rattle often means it was neglected. Second, look underneath for leaks and torn CV boots, especially if it's AWD. Torn boots are common on higher mileage cars and they're fixable, but you want to catch them before the joint grinds itself into dust. Third, check tire wear. Uneven wear usually means alignment or suspension wear. Not a deal breaker, just a negotiation tool and a reminder to budget for an alignment. Toyota Venza is the SUV for the person who wants Toyota reliability but doesn't care about being trendy. It's comfortable, it's quiet, and it's usually priced like it's some random Toyota, even though it can be one of the smartest buys in the entire used Toyota world. But if you think the Venza is ignored, number 2 gets ignored even harder, and it comes with one big family advantage. Before moving on, it's important to understand why so many people end up buying the wrong SUV in the first place, even when their budget is solid and their intentions are good. Most buyers walk onto a dealer lot already convinced of a few myths. The biggest one is this idea that newer automatically means more reliable. Dealers love this myth because it pushes people toward complex, tech-heavy SUVs that look modern but are packed with expensive failure points. Touchscreens, turbochargers, start-stop systems, and fancy transmissions all sound great on paper, but they don't age well once the warranty runs out. Number 2. Toyota Sequoia 2008 to 2012. Big family SUV, weirdly affordable for what it is. Yes, Toyota Sequoia is a full-size SUV. People hear full-size SUV and immediately assume money pit. That's true for a lot of brands. It's not automatically true for Toyota, especially when you buy the right years and the right condition. Another common mistake is assuming that brand reputation alone guarantees reliability. People hear Toyota and think every Toyota is priced the same for a reason. That's not true. Dealers know exactly which Toyota names sell themselves: RAV4, 4Runner, and Tacoma, and they price those aggressively. Meanwhile, equally reliable Toyota SUVs with less hype sit ignored, even though they share engines, transmissions, and platforms with the popular models. That price gap isn't about quality, it's about perception. Here's what's happening in the market. The Sequoia is big. It drinks more fuel than a crossover, and it's not cool like a 4Runner or Land Cruiser. So shoppers skip it. That creates value. On RepairPal, the Sequoia shows an average annual repair and maintenance cost of around $642, and RepairPal compares that to higher typical averages for full-size SUVs. Again, this isn't saying it's cheaper to run than a Corolla. It's saying it's often less painful than other big SUVs in its class. Now look at used prices. On CarGurus, a 2012 Sequoia shows an average price around the mid-$14,000 range, with listings ranging from very cheap high-mileage ones to much higher clean examples. That is wild when you remember what this thing is. A real 3-row body-on-frame Toyota SUV that can do family duty and towing without begging for mercy. Fuel economy is the trade-off, and it's better to be honest about it up front. Fueleconomy.gov shows a 2012 Sequoia 4.6 liters 2WD at 16 combined miles per gallon, 14 city/20 highway. And the 5.7 liters options can be around 15 combined depending on drivetrain, so yes, it uses more gas. That's the price you pay for size and strength. The Sequoia Mechanic Checklist. If you're buying a Sequoia, you don't just kick the tires, you check for 2 expensive categories: rust and abuse. First, check frame rust, not surface dust, but deep scaling, flaking, or holes. Full-size SUVs can live hard lives in salt states. Second, check for signs of towing neglect. If it has a hitch, that's not automatically bad, but you want proof of fluid changes. Third, listen for suspension clunks over bumps. Big SUVs eat suspension parts over time. It's normal wear, but it affects the price. If you buy a clean Sequoia that wasn't abused, you get something rare in the used market. A big Toyota family SUV that can keep going when other big SUVs start breaking wallets. It's not the cheapest to fuel, but it can be one of the cheapest full-size SUVs to survive long-term without constant shop visits. Now, number 1 is where the real goldmine word applies, because this is the Toyota SUV that people think they know, but they still shop it wrong, so the value is sitting right there. Do remember that dealers play heavily on monthly payment psychology. Instead of talking about the total cost of ownership, they steer the conversation toward, what can you afford per month? That's how buyers end up stretching for SUVs with higher repair risk, just because the payment looks manageable today. What they don't highlight is what happens 3 or 4 years later when out-of-warranty repairs start stacking up. And there's a myth that SUVs must either be cheap or reliable, but not both. That's simply false. Some SUVs are cheap because they're bad. Others are cheap because most people don't understand them. The difference matters, and that difference is exactly where smart buyers win. That's why the SUVs in this list exist, and why mechanics quietly buy them while everyone else keeps overpaying. this takes us to my most favorite value zone family SUV. Number 1. We have Toyota Highlander, 2014 to 2017. Toyota Highlander. And this is the one I recommend more than almost any other Toyota SUV when someone says, I need something reliable for my family, but I don't want to get robbed at the dealer. Here's the truth. Highlanders don't always look exciting. That's why they're so dangerous in the used market. Dangerous for the buyer who doesn't understand value. People chase the cool SUVs, then act shocked when the repair bills show up. The Highlander is the opposite. It's a family tool that's built to just do the job for years. RepairPal rates the Highlander at 4.0 out of 5.0 and lists an average annual repair cost of around $489, ranking it well among mid-size SUVs. That's exactly what you want from a used family SUV. Predictable. Now look at pricing. On CarGurus, a 2015 Highlander shows an average price around the mid-$16,000 range, and a 2017 Highlander shows an average price around the high $19,000 range, with wide ranges depending on miles and trim. So you can often land a Highlander in that sweet zone where it costs less than people expect for a 3-row Toyota. Fuel economy is also straightforward. FuelEconomy.gov lists a 2015 Highlander V6 AWD at 20 combined miles per gallon, 18 city/24 highway, and the 2WD-V6 at 21 combined. Not hybrid numbers, but very reasonable for a 3-row SUV. Safety matters too, especially if kids ride in it. The IIHS has detailed safety ratings pages for vehicles like the 2015 Highlander, including crash test results and available safety features. The Highlander Real Mechanic Checklist, what owners miss. If you want the Highlander that lasts forever, here's how to buy it like a mechanic. First, check tire wear and alignment signs. Uneven front wear usually means it was driven hard over curbs or skipped alignments. Not fatal, just leverage for price. Second, test every button on the infotainment and climate controls. Electronics don't usually kill Highlanders, but annoying features can cost money to fix. Third, do a full steering feel check on the test drive. If something feels loose or strange, take it seriously. A real-world example. U.S. regulators investigated complaints on certain older Highlander model years related to steering column issues, and later closed the investigation without a recall, noting incidents were rare and often tied to prior collision damage. That's exactly why you ask about accident history and get a proper inspection. The mechanic math on why Highlander wins. This is why I call it a gold mine. Shoppers often compare Highlander money to vehicles that look cooler but cost more to keep alive. If you buy a Highlander in the mid-teens to low $20,000 range and drive it for years, you're spreading that purchase price over a lot of miles while avoiding the repeated high-dollar failures that destroy cheap SUVs. A Highlander isn't cheap because it's bad. It's cheap relative to what you get because it's not trendy. It's the SUV people buy, drive, and then forget to brag about because it just works. What to buy in plain English. So there it is. 3 cheap Toyota SUVs the market ignores, but mechanics don't. Toyota Venza, 2009 to 2015. A quiet Toyota bargain with low typical annual repair costs and simple, long-life Toyota design. Toyota Sequoia, 2008 to 2012-ish. Big family SUV value, more fuel, but often a tougher long-run buy than other full-size SUVs. Toyota Highlander, 2014 to 2017 value zone. The best, most Toyota for the money family SUV. Strong reliability scores, reasonable MPG, and pricing that still surprises people. If the goal is to buy one SUV and keep it for years without getting ambushed by repairs, these are the kind of buys that make dealerships mad because they don't come back for drama. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one next, where I've shared simple reset tricks to eliminate electric faults from your Toyota.